First and foremost, man, it's crazy because when I was prepping the show, and by the way, guys, we're recording on Thursday, so I know this is old news by now. There's
Yeah.
gonna be someone in the comments being like, "This is old news," but rest in peace to the legendary Ozzy Osbourne, of course, and rest in peace to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
We're losing icons of the '80s.
Oh, we get older. I guess we just forget that we don't, we still age and people, people we're going to pass. And like we talked last week about, people dying that we grew up with, that we were raised on,
Although I remember not dying, hopefully, with
no,
that one.
but the it's like part of your childhood, I guess. I never really understood it. My parents used to say that a little bit, or they get upset when some of icon that they grew up with passed away, or and as a kid, you don't get it. You're like, what? You carry? I don't. But you really do. It's not even the person and God bless you. I don't know Hulk. I don't know Hulk Hogan or Ozzy Osbourne. Bless their families, of course, and but I never knew them, and so you feel like, well, why should you care? Who gives it? And it's not that them, it's that you remember things that when you heard, um, Mama, I'm coming home. So I used to listen to that every time when I left Afghanistan. That was on my home playlist. Flying back
It's a great
home,
song.
that was
That whole
one.
album is
That was, yeah,
tremendous.
that was. And then Motley Crue. Is it
Home Sweet Home.
Home
Yeah.
Sweet Home was another one. And
The
then
better one is the 1991 version, I will
yeah,
say, guys. It's funny. They have the original version from, I think, 1984 or 86, where if you read the dirt, they talk about we wanted to have like a grand piano, and the producer just had one of these little, like, small pianos. It was like, oh, just play it on that. And they're like, we never got the vision we wanted. So if you listen to the 91, you
yeah.
can hear it's like the grand piano, way more of an epic song. But yeah,
It is,
great,
it
great song.
is, and then even Blake Shelton, Home, and Michael Bublé, even he did that version of it, it's just so when they do pass, like it's just first thing I remember was getting on that damn secret CIA J-Lo bird and putting my headphones in and flying home, and so it does. It's like a piece of you is not gone, but kind of is. It'll always be there, but it's like damn. Like Hulk Hogan growing up and watching on a black and white
Oh yeah.
TV as a kid, watching wrestling, staying up too late, sneaking down to watch TV.
Dude,
And
I'll tell you something. There's a
it's
picture
neat.
of me. I don't know if I'll be able to put it on screen or anything. Maybe. I think it's at my parents' house. But I grew up in the town next to Port Washington. I am now in Port Washington. I think I've showed you. We have an absolutely
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful dock here. It's one of the
yeah, yeah.
coolest things about living here. There's a picture of my dad holding me at the dock, and I got a Hulk Hogan figure in my hand. So, I mean, that tells you I grew up
That
with
tells you.
with the Hulkster.
Well, those were the glory days, man. Macho Man Hulk and Macho Man Savage going at it, and that was the
Ultimate
big
Warrior.
Ultimate War. Yeah, those days were. I mean, it just was fun. It was the '90s, and that was the '80s, and yeah,
Both, yeah.
it
Mid
really.
80s to mid
Yeah,
90s,
and the
really.
'90s was fun and crazy, and that was MTV and wrestling. That was that was, so it is. It's like a childhood kind of. It's not gone, but it kind of disappeared, the luster a little bit, and then you're like me. You realize that shit, man, I am getting older. So it's a reminder to yourselves. But anyway, they were icons, and I'm not necessarily. I'm not just what's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
I'm not putting them up on a pedestal per se
Yeah.
because again they're people fallible, of course.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it's the things that we grew up with when they were that we grew up and they were part of our culture, and it's part, and they're gone. But the blessing is their music and WWE reruns and documentaries on Hulk Hogan will be f forever. And I understand that too. And it's one of the reasons why we did 13 hours and why we got talked into doing it by producers is like, hey, you do this, this will be here forever, even when you're gone. And so there is a silver lining. But yeah, it was kind of sad. I'm the same way as you when you hit that. That's kind of sad. Yeah, it is. It is, man. A piece of us is
The
kind of gone.
the crazy thing with the Ozzy one, I have to say though, man, is the timing. The timing is just insane. The fact that 2 weeks ago in the UK, Ozzy does his last ever concert. It is a huge, huge send off with Metallica, with Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, with Tool. Tom Morello organized it. Just anyone who is anyone in rock or metal was at that concert. He was in his wheelchair, or in his chair doing two or three songs. He knew his time was about to come. Sid Wilson of Slipknot proposes to his daughter Kelly in front of him, gets his blessing and all that. And people are like, "Oh, is this really the last time Ozzy ever plays?" And 2 weeks later, he dies.
Dude,
And I almost feel like in his mind, it was like, I did it all. We knew his time was going to come with his battle with Parkinson's, but I almost feel like he hung in there for this major, major event that people flew all the way from here to England for, from all over the world. And what a life, man. The guy did it all.
man, yeah, and shouldn't have lived this long with
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah.
damn substances. So, he man was truly blessed. And I think, I don't know what you think, but I want to ask you your opinion on it. I do think that when we get to certain ages, and seeing my father the same way where he passed, I think there's a time where you can fight everything to hold on, and then you just can finally let go. And
I think so.
and
Because he
that's
hung
it.
on for that
Yeah.
concert literally 2 weeks ago,
I,
July 5th. He hung on for this major, major event, had a big smile on his face, performing for everybody, and that was it. And also, the big thing with that, for people who don't know, I'm sure a lot of you guys do know who are big rock fans and metal fans, but Black Sabbath did do one final tour for the album
yeah.
13, which I was at. And Bill Ward was not on drums. And Ozzy said it was a huge regret of his that he never got to play again with Bill Ward. And Bill Ward got up on stage with him for this last concert, did some songs, took his shirt off. Tony Iommi busted his balls and said, "You look ridiculous with your shirt off." And he was basically like, "I don't care. I'm going to drum up here with my shirt off." And yeah, he got everything he wanted, man. He wanted to perform with the original lineup of Sabbath one final time, and he did it. And he also, the crazy thing is, when I talk about the timing, he also made amends with members of Ozzy that he was on very bad terms with, who were invited to perform with him one last time, and he kind of reconciled with all these people he had bad blood with. So that's the way to go out.
No, you always you have your brothers and you love them and you reconcile. And I know how that feels. I'm glad that the whole team, all of us, have reconciled. It's something that sticks with you when you haven't for years, because you go through, it's like when me and Oz and Boone and everybody didn't get along for a time, and you say, it doesn't bother me, but it is in the back of your mind. And then when you finally reconcile, it's like a weight's lifted, Audie. And I'm sure it's the same that's how he felt. It's like a weight. He made the attempt to reach out, and he
And it's like
reconciled
almost how
with
he
his
was
mate.
able to just go out. He was able to be like, okay, I'm on good terms with everybody.
Well, isn't that how you want to go out? You want to, if you're
Yeah,
gonna go out, like, you want to be no regrets. Everything's good. I did everything I could. I've accomplished everything in my life that I wanted to accomplish. It's my terms. If I want to go out, I want to go out on my terms. Heck yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's what you want to do. And man, again, that man is truly blessed to go through everything that he went through, to be the sinner that he was, and then to even go out how he did, and still be one of the most respected persons in, and you follow rock more than I,
Oh,
in
of
the
course. He's
industry,
an icon.
in the industry, and then also come to terms and have peace with everybody that you had bad blood with. Man, God loves sinners, bro. That's all I gotta say. And but it's cool. I think that's really awesome, and
Yeah, I
it
do
gives
too.
hope
And
for everybody.
I saw a lot of people posting about it in the metal world that were like, "This is a horrible day. This sucks. Part of me has died." I don't really feel that
Yeah,
way. Because of the fact that, as you said, I think people expected Ozzy to die in the
yeah,
80s, truthfully.
yeah, seriously.
And I saw like Mark Slaughter post that, Mark was on the No More Tours tour. That was back in the early 90s when he said no more tours. Like everybody thought it was over, and all these decades later. And to me, I actually said this on my other channel, Ian Scott Rocks, because I did a video about it just recently, just to make a comparison here, but just recently, the lead singer of the band Dropout Kings committed suicide,
Yeah.
who is younger than me. And to me, that is tragic.
No,
That's
yeah.
way like a guy dying in his 70s who did all that. But to me, a guy who felt his life was so unbearable that he decided to take his own life. And truthfully, when I reported it on my channel, I purposely did not monetize that video. And I said, I want to do this as tastefully as possible. And I felt very different about doing the Ozzy video because to me, it's like we celebrate his life. But like with that, I was like, man, I don't want to offend anybody because that's such a hard thing. And the thing that actually meant a lot to me was on the comments on that video. Adam Ramey's mom commented and said, hey, I really appreciate you doing this in a tasteful way. My life will never be the same. And like to me, that's tragic, man. A guy in
That
his
is.
70s going out on his own terms, that's not tragic. That's amazing.
Yeah,
So there's a big difference.
there is. It's sad, but it's that sadness that kind of brings a smile on your like man, it brings a smile on my face. Not
Yeah.
that, but it's like man, I remember listening to Ozzy and coming home after a hell of a deployment. I remember just listening to him in the car in high school. Maybe we're drinking out by the tree. Who knows? But it just you remember good things when somebody and you're right, when somebody commits suicide, any good memories that you had, they're tainted, man. They
Yeah.
are.
Or when someone's time just comes way too young.
You're
When they're
young. You're
younger
right.
than
Yeah.
me is when it really hits me.
I know. I agree with in this case. This. So I said this guy's truly blessed. He was truly blessed because he shouldn't have lived this long, and he did. And it sounds like to me he reconciled all his demons,
Yeah.
which for if anybody you can get this is just it's hope. You have hope. Everybody should have hope for themselves. Even if you're doing wrong, you can fix yourself, and you can still live a wonderful, wonderful life and make it to your 70s and have peace. And I guess that's the word I'm looking for. It's like he had peace when he went.
Yeah.
He had peace. This is I did it on my terms. Committing suicide is not on your terms. That's the devil's terms. That's the demon. That's not your terms. Your turn. This is your terms. At peace with everything, reconcile with everybody. I've been holding on, trying to get as much done as I can. All right, I'm good. I can let go finally and just. And I really do think I really wish I would have been there for my father, but he held on for a long time to get things right, and then I think I do. I honestly think he just it's like I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
good, and not giving up. It's just it's time to let go.
Thanks for checking out Battle Line Podcast. This is just a smaller clip from our latest episode, which you can check out in its entirety by clicking here. While you're watching, be sure to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up the video to show your support. Now, if you'd really like to help us out, click the thanks button below to make a donation. It goes directly to us in keeping Battle Line Podcast going for you.